Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Bowser Jr. Fan 13, and welcome back to another Top 10, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyways, it's time for another Top 10 least favorite things in video games, and today we're going to be talking about our least favorite, or in this case, my least favorite Mortal Kombat characters, because I've already covered my favorite ones. Now it's time to cover the least favorite ones, because, to be honest, there's like a handful of Mortal Kombat characters that are just the worst. Alright, but before we get started, of course, as always, if you just so happen to like any character that's on this list, again, don't take it personal, it's just my honest opinion. So without further ado, let's get into this action, shall we? Number 10, Curtis Stryker. Alright, so, I know a lot of people really don't like this character. Alright, so Stryker debuted in Mortal Kombat 3, and I'm not gonna lie, he was the lamest character that was introduced because, I mean, he's a cop. Like, why would you put a police officer in a Mortal Kombat game? I mean, sure, he's got the guns and all, but what is that gonna do to demons and all sorts of ninjas and assassins and people who could literally shoot fireballs out of their hands? Like, what is that gonna... Well, I mean, to be fair, some of these people are humans, and these people are capable of dying. Not to mention the fact that his fatalities are so lame. I mean, one of his fatalities is just him using a taser on the opponent. Like, what? Okay, but I'm not gonna lie, at least in Mortal Kombat 9 and X, yeah. In Mortal Kombat 9 and X, they did change his character a bit and change his design and make him, like, a much better character, but the damage has already been done, so not much I can say about this character. Number 9, Reiko. Alright, so this character is from Mortal Kombat 4, probably one of the worst Mortal Kombat games to ever existed. I mean, it's not the absolute worst, like the worst, I mean, but still, this is just as bad as Mortal Kombat 3. But anyways, listen, alright, so I don't have anything to say about Reiko. He is just a bland and boring character. I mean, there's nothing interesting about him, and even though he appeared in the new Mortal Kombat movie, I'm gonna be honest, out of all the characters you could see in that film, I was not happy to see him because, I mean, there's not much to say about him. He's just bland and boring. He doesn't have an interesting backstory. I didn't really care much about the character, and I also really didn't like the whole fact in his ending that he was wearing Shao Kahn's helmet, and that was like, oh wait, is Reiko Shao Kahn? No, apparently Reiko is not Shao Kahn because it's confirmed by the people who talk backwards in that Village in Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest mode, and it's just outright ridiculous. Number 8, Li Mei from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Alright, so this character, I mean, there isn't much to say about her, but I'm just gonna say this, out of all the female characters that were introduced in this game, she, to me, by far is one of the least interesting female characters. Not to mention the fact that, well, I mean, her endings, I don't even know what to say about her endings, because one of her endings, Quan Chi ends up taking her soul away or something like that. I think that's how it goes. I have no idea what happened. I mean, she made an appearance in Mortal Kombat X, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really care for that. And I won't lie, she does look hot and beautiful, but yeah, I don't really like this character all that much. Especially, like, the only time I could actually think of, like, well, I don't know, a memorable moment with this character is, well, a certain thing that a friend of mine said on his channel when fighting this character in Deadly Alliance, and I think you all know what exactly I'm talking about. If not, then I guess I should leave it out. Number 7, Nitara from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance also. Okay, listen, I know Nitara has her fans. I know people really like this character. I mean, she looks cool. I mean, she's a freaking giant vampire Batgirl, which looks pretty amazing, but outside of that, there's nothing to back it up. I mean, it was cool to see her in the new movie, but in terms of the games, I don't know what to say about her. I mean, I've never played as Nitara. I had no interest in playing her. She just seems to be very uninteresting to me, so I can't say anything about that. Number 6, Jarek from Mortal Kombat 4. I mean, I don't really need to say much about this character other than the fact that this dude is a literal Kano clone. And I don't mean that like in the story, I mean like in terms of his gameplay, he is just a Kano clone. He has all of Kano's moves and all of Kano's fatalities, and it just boggles my mind, like, how the heck are they gonna put this ripoff, and why didn't they just put Kano in the game? I mean, it just felt so weird, and his endings were also cringe. Like, I don't want to talk about the endings because, I mean, the voice acting was just bad enough, but this character is just pure cringe, and he's just a pure copy and paste. Number 5, Kai from Mortal Kombat 4 as well. Seriously, what is it with Mortal Kombat 4 having terrible characters? Alright, Kai is hands down one of the most boring and most uninteresting characters you could ever meet. Like, I've already talked about some of the other characters being boring and bland, but Kai takes it to a whole nother level to the point where he's just forgettable. Like, seriously, do any of you even remember this character? And if you're probably watching the new Mortal Kombat movies, or if you're probably checking out the new games, and if you're wondering why people aren't saying, hey, where's Kai? Why is Kai not in this game? Newsflash, we don't care, because nobody even cares about this character. Nobody at all. And I don't even know what the point of his ending was, where Raiden gives him his staff, and he doesn't even have it in the other games, so what was the point of that? Number 4, Mocap. Alright, listen, I think at this point, NetherRealm Studios, or Midway, whichever one you want to call it, I mean, whichever company owned Mortal Kombat at the time, listen, the people who made Mortal Kombat at this point, they're just running out of ideas for coming up with new characters, like when they were working on Deadly Alliance and Deception, because this is just another obscurity of pure laziness and pure stupidity, because, I mean, this character is literally just a motion capture suit fighting in the battles. Like this guy looks like he belongs in one of Johnny Cage's movies, and I don't even know what else to say about this. This is just outrageously terrible. Like, nothing is satisfying about Mocap. Oh, but wait till we get to the top 3. They are way worse than this guy. Number 3, Meat from Mortal Kombat 4. Okay, so you were looking at this picture and you're like, what the heck is that? Well, I'm gonna tell you a little story on how this character was created. So, when Mortal Kombat 4 was in development, I mean, you know when characters do that fatality, like, they have this, like, model where their face is, like, their skin is peeled off of their face, and they have this face that looks, like, very weird and stuff, and all that, like, you know, like, when you peel off the skin, they look like that? Well, apparently they thought that, what happens if we put a character with no skin and make him a playable character? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Well, honestly, no, it is not hilarious. I don't find it funny. It's just a waste of a character. And not to mention, there isn't much to say about Meat other than he was created by Shang Tsung. So, either way, this character is just lame. Number 2, Cobra. Alright, listen, I think we all know exactly what we were thinking when we were looking at this character. Like, seriously, who are you trying to fool, Ed Boon? We all know that you seriously just made this character as a ripoff of Ken Masters from Street Fighter, which is a disgrace because Street Fighter is one of the best fighting games ever next to your own franchise. And you're gonna take one of the most beloved characters and just make a pure, obscure ripoff of him? You know what, at this point, I'm glad Capcom did not sue you for doing this, cause this is just outrageously weird. In fact, I'm also glad that you probably did not sue Capcom for a character that'll show up in my top 10 least favorite Street Fighter characters video, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay, so before we get to my final number 1 pick on the list, as always, here are the
Bowser Jr. Fan 13 Honorable Mentions.
Suhao. Another one of the most boring, bland characters you could ever see in this game. And plus, look at the design. He's just a shirtless dude with some sort of metal piece on his chest, looking like some sort of dictator or something like that. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Suhao is just a very obscure character. Darius from Mortal Kombat Deception, aka Jax 2.0. Or at least that's what I think he's supposed to be, because I heard that this guy replaced Jax for some reason in this game. Like, why would you replace Jax, one of the most beloved characters in Mortal Kombat, and replace him with this knockoff? I mean, this dude, not to mention his design looks very weird and obscure. I mean, he looks like some sort of low-budget, futuristic basketball player, or his alternate costume makes him look like a Tekken character. Like, what was that Tekken character that was a capoeira fighter's name? Something like that. He reminds me of that. And DJ from Street Fighter. Again, I'm surprised Capcom did not sue you, but still, Darius is just lame. Ashura from Mortal Kombat Deception or Deadly Alliance. Okay, I have no idea where she's from or what game she debuted in, but I do not care, okay? But all I can say is that this lady is just female Raiden, and yeah, that's it. Tanya from Mortal Kombat 4. Listen, I don't care what you want to say about Tanya. Sure, she was cool in Mortal Kombat X, but Mortal Kombat 4... I think she was just served as an excuse to fill another female ninja role because, like, I didn't understand what was the point of putting Tanya in that game instead of putting Kitana, Melina, and Jade, because they were far superior ninja characters than Tanya. Again, I know she was, like improved in Mortal Kombat X, but that wasn't enough for me, at least. And not to mention, like, she had one of the most weirdest fatalities in Mortal Kombat 4. I mean, the neck snap was alright, but the way it was executed, it just felt so weird and so unrealistic. Hotaru from Mortal Kombat Deception, I think that's where he's from. Again, I don't care what these characters debuted in because they suck, okay? Alright, so from what I've learned about this character, I heard he had an interesting backstory, but nothing to back it up. I mean, like, yeah, there's not much to say about this character other than his moveset being, like, lame, because he had this lava move where you have to be very close to hit your opponent and you'll almost never hit them. And he has a ripoff of Liu Kang's bicycle kick, and I don't know, that was lame. Okay, one last honorable mention, Motaro from Mortal Kombat 3. Okay, I originally thought that this character was cool because he was a centaur creature and all that stuff, but at the same time, I started to think that Motaro is just now lame because, I mean, what's the point of having him or bringing him back in a Mortal Kombat game? Because, I mean, at this point, he hasn't been playable in any of the newer Mortal Kombat games. Not to mention the fact that in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, they changed the design, and he doesn't even look like a centaur anymore, which made it look very weird. And I hate fighting Motaro in Mortal Kombat 3. He is a pure pain in the ass to deal with. And finally, my number 1 least favorite Mortal Kombat character of all time is Boraicho from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I mean, listen, this character is just a pure, obscure joke. Like, are you telling me that this fat, drunk bastard is the one who trained the champion of Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang, and Kung Lao? Get out of here with that. Well, on top of that, his moveset is just pure weirdness, because he's just a fat guy that just jumps on you and crushes you, and he also he pukes all over the floor, which is just disgusting to look at. And what it makes it even worse is that he has a fatality where he farts on the opponent with fire. And listen, the whole farting with fire stuff, like, it's just obscure, and I don't even know what to say about this. It's just very awful. And they even put him in Mortal Kombat X as a playable character. I did not care for that. Like, seriously, I did not care for Boraicho returning in that game, and it was just awful. I don't want to see this character in another Mortal Kombat game ever again. I don't want to see him ever again. I mean, if he gets killed off, I'd be happy with that, but other than that, no. Please, stop bringing back this fat drunk bastard into your games, okay? And that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know in the comments down below who is your least favorite Mortal Kombat character, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.